Welcome, Squires. We got ourselves another Local Legends deck profile here, and I have a newcomer to the channel, Mr. Anakin. How's it going today, buddy?
Going pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for asking. What did you do today, Anakin?
I played my own homebrew MITSURUGI deck.
Oh.
It has a couple additions into the deck.
Okay.
But we're not playing Yugioh. That's all that matters.
Okay. Something new and spicy.
We will go through the deck list, but you probably already know on the video title, but we'll go through and see what I'm playing.
Yeah, absolutely. What were your matchups today?
My matchups were, it was Fire King first.
Okay.
Match 2 was Yugioh Fiendsmith.
Ooh.
And then match 3 and 4 were both Malice.
Of course, of course.
And that is definitely my hardest matchup.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Malice is insane. So, any shout-outs you want to give before we get into our deck profile here?
Just again, I would just want to say that I'm glad for everybody here, and I'm thankful to be playing.
Yeah, Wizards Loft is an awesome place to play, so definitely come check it out, guys, if you haven't. Alrighty, let's get into the spice here.
Okay, so starting off, I'm playing the 2 best spells in the deck. I'm not playing 3 because I don't want to see 3. I only want to see 1, right?
Okay.
But it's an insanely good card, and if they don't have Ash, you probably can win. Very good card.
Yeah, Snake Rain is absolutely nuts.
And then for our Ogdoadic lineup, which we're playing 3 Naya, the Ogdoadic Remnant. It is the best starter in the deck for what the deck does. I know it's a Mitsu name, but it's definitely better than them.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're playing 1 brick alongside the Ogdoadic stuff is the Curse. It's a level 8, so you can use it for the ritual fodder, but you really want to just send it to grave because this does everything to start the engine. And if they hit this, it does feel bad, but they don't. No one ever does. And then our other brick, which is for the Mitsu and the Ogdoadic, is Night Sword Serpent. It's literally Dotscaper for this deck. It's just a good card, though. I think for this type of build, you play it, but for like Yugioh Mitsurugi, probably you don't have to. It's just a free extender.
Yeah, it seems like it's a lot more optional in that deck, but...
Yeah. And then for our spells for Ogdoadic, we're playing 1 Daybreak. Pretty self-explanatory. Tribute tribute a reptile and summon based off the level. And then Water Lily. This is just a free extender. If you have 4 or more names in grave, when you send the 5th name, you are able to reborn any reptile from your grave. It's just Foolish and Monster Reborn. Pretty good. And then another brick we have to play is Planet Pollutant Virus.
Oh,
this is the strongest card in the deck that we don't want to open. It's fine to open. It's just we would much rather play or search it.
Oh, of course.
Cosmic Slicer.
Of course, yes.
But this is what makes the deck be able to be playable at a higher competitive level. It's Raigeki, and paired with Cosmic Slicer is pretty much Skill Drain, but better.
Pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a better Baguska as well, so it's a very good card. And that's pretty much it for our Ogdoadic lineup.
Okay.
And we are going to play 3 of the Mitsurugi Ritual.
Of course,
so, you always play 3. I don't think you should play any less. I'm pretty sure this card you always play 3. Technically, it's the hardest card to search in your deck, so you'd much rather just open it instead of seeing Saji. And then we played the 2 Saji, of course.
Yep.
Because Saji is one of the best starters for Mitsurugi. The next couple cards are you have to play. It's Amino and Futsu. Of course, they're the bosses.
Yep.
This is actually better than Amino.
Really?
In this build.
Okay, yeah,
So,
I guess in this build it could, I could see that.
Futsu, if they out Cosmic Slicer, Futsu just brings it back. On every special summon, you get to reborn a reptile. And you're playing reptiles. It's not like you have nothing engraved to do this with, and you're not just summoning the Mitsu names. This very good card. Amino is obviously better in the sense of other decks, but this is definitely more MVP for the deck.
Okay.
And then the last Mitsurugi name is Kusanagi. He's definitely a brick, but you are still able to play him. I saw him today paired with a Prayers, and you tribute him to summon Saji, or search Saji, summon Saji,
Yep.
and then this guy activates to add back the Prayers from your graveyard to your hand,
Yep.
which is just a loop. It's really good.
It's a pretty good loop, yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously we play the 3 Prayers.
Yeah,
A lot of
Prayers-
people,
Prayers is nuts too.
a lot of people can cut this, which is fair. But this is definitely one of the best cards if you want to do stuff in draw phase, because Droll kills the deck. And sometimes you really just want to tribute a Saji and draw, and then search summon, and then have that effect go off. The Saji effect.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then our last card. This is technically the best card for both the engines of Ogdoadic and Mitsurugi.
Yep.
Its engrave effect has actually won me more games than I can count. The negate is good, but if you send this with Snake Rain, you can just win with that. The fact you can dodge Infirm or Effect Veiler or any like pop effects, like if they want to pop with Detonator on Amino,
Yep.
you can chain this to summon one from grave and tribute the Amino.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it's an incredible card.
That's kind of spice, yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And that's our Mitsurugi lineup. And then for the last engine of the deck, we're playing Melodious. So this is just to spam out rank 4s and also Link Fodder. But this is probably one of the best bait cards ever printed. It's Branded Fusion on crack. Like, there's no reason not to play this in a rank 4 deck. I actually don't know why Ryziel doesn't play it. Genuine question.
I have seen some lists where they were playing it. I feel like a lot of people were experimenting with it when the deck first
Yeah.
came out, but it kind of like, I guess it shifted away in favor of some other cards.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
but I do agree. I think these cards are actually insane, and literally, yeah, you're correct.
just
That's
adds
the
more
best
starters.
Ash bait ever.
Yeah, it adds so many more starters to your deck, especially for making duo drive. But in this case, it makes King,
Yeah.
which is one of your best starters, right? And then we play the 3 Refrains, which are just another normal summon starter to get the King going. And then the 1 Cannon. We're not playing Couplet and the Concerto because they're just the hardest bricks ever to play with. Like, this is a level 4, and it can special summon itself, so you don't feel too bad when you brick on it, because you can literally just normal summon it and use it as a 4. It's just like the same for Fuwalas, right?
Yep, that makes sense.
And then that is all of that engine. And then we play the one of Pot of Prosperity. It's just a C starters.
Yeah.
And going second, it's just a C board breakers because we play some in the side, and it's come on, it's such a good card.
It is. Pot is always going to be amazing.
Yeah. And then our non-engine, we're playing 3 Fuwalas.
Ooh, yeah.
Pretty self-explanatory for
Yep.
this format. 3 Ash, so that we don't get Fuwalas or Meowls. We are playing 2 Droll.
Okay.
Just because Malice is so popular, I don't really want to see Droll.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best card into that matchup,
Yeah.
but it definitely is very good into a lot of other matchups. So
Yeah.
I can understand why
And-
it deserves the slot.
Especially for playing Fuwalas in the main. Drolling yourself on their turn doesn't feel as good when you draw it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's okay at 2. And then we play 2 Nib. Not a fan of 3. Just a once per turn effect. I'd rather not open 2.
Yep.
And then we play 2 Gogurt. This is only really good into Ryziel and Blue Eyes.
And Blue Eyes, yeah.
Which I was expecting to see, but didn't get paired up against it. And it just hits True Light, which is pretty detrimental. Or the Primite card, but we're really hitting True Light. And then our last 3 non-engine is Called By, talents, and imperm. We play one imperm only as a thrust target for our side. It's still a good
Okay.
card to draw off a Fool Loss, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, the only downside is seeing a nib paired with imperm. Like, maybe we go imperm nib, but if you're drawing it off a Fool Loss and you draw this after you nib, this card doesn't really feel as strong as it should be in this format, just because Malice can play around imperm pretty easily.
Yeah, they definitely can, and it's even why, like, you know, other than Blue Eyes, like, they're one of the only decks that really play Valor anymore. It seems like, so that's like losing favor as well.
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
And the count for the main deck is 45.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the extra deck.
Yeah.
We play one fusion, and it's just Baka. Incredible bait card. It, like, if your opponent ashes this, I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, they just wasted it. They just hand looped themselves.
Yeah, for no reason. I've had that happen a couple times, and I was like, you don't have to. You can just take it back, because this effect can't be negated.
It can't.
You have to imperm or effect failure. But we play it at one because we only need to see it once.
Yeah.
And then for the Xyz, we play triple King of the Feral Imps.
Definitely the best card in your deck. That is for sure.
We're playing reptiles. We have to see 3. I think I've tried cutting it to 2. It doesn't feel as good. I would prefer 3 every time. We played one Exciton Knight, which was probably the best card in my extra deck today. It did me a lot of wonders. Just being like, oh, how many cards do you have? And then being like, I have 2 4s. I'm going to slap an Exciton Knight, and then I'm going to blow up your board. And if you don't negate it...
Can always try it again later,
Yeah.
right? Since it's once per chain.
Yeah. And it's super easy to just go into Zeus with him.
Yeah.
Because they don't take damage after this resolves, but doesn't mean I can't attack.
That is true.
And then we'll go the Tornado Dragon.
Yep.
Because this deck has a problem with back row. It really does. Because our entire rest of our deck is supposed to deal with monsters. We need to play this just to out some random stuff. And then we play Castell. Yeah, it's a nice ulti.
Nice ulti.
Castell is very good for outing weird stuff, especially stuff that can't be destroyed. Like, being able to book a Moon it or just send it is very good. It also does out back row in a sense. It can out like a face-up spell or a trap, which is being problematic, which I genuinely enjoy this card.
Yeah, no, that second effect is very relevant.
And then our last rank 4 is Abyssal. It's the best in the format. I wouldn't be surprised if it got banned. It's a really good card. Like, there's no reason not to play it right now.
They did it in the OCG, so I can imagine them doing it here too.
Yeah. And then we make one Zeus.
Yep, Zeusy boy.
And then Typhon. I like to put this over Amino because that's the only card that this interacts with in my deck. Against other decks, like, this can hurt. This definitely can hurt.
Yeah.
And then that is our Xyz. And then now we have our Lynx. We have Haggard as our first reptile link. Best reptile probably in the game.
I would agree.
Every deck can play it almost. It's just genuinely a good card. And then our second link too is Echidna. Echidna is very good at just being like, oh, your card has battle protection or something. Okay, I'm gonna activate this effect, make your guy 0, and I'm gonna swing all my guys into you.
Yeah.
Which I did do to Centurion.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Not today, of course, but just
it has come up.
Yeah. And then obviously searching when your opponent has 0s is very good. And then we played the Shock Trooper. I have made this every single game, just as Tribute Fodder.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The second effect, or the main effect of discarding and putting counters does come up, but it really is just for this guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
The slicer.
the best card in the deck, 100%, hands down. That's the whole reason I'm playing the deck, is for Cosmic Slicer. This is the best floodgate in the game. I'm just gonna say it.
I mean, yeah,
this with Abyss Dweller, it's
almost
impossible.
it's almost impossible to break. Yeah, it's
it-
really good.
That's why the problem with the deck is it can't deal with Banish. So Malice does have a chance to beat this deck, but this alone can do stuff to Malice.
Oh yeah.
And then we do play one more Link. This is my latest edition.
Okay, how did you feel about it?
I think it's done me wonders. It's like incredible. I drew I think I drew a Fuwalos while I already had a Fuwalos, and I pitched both, and I just grabbed 2 cards that were actually playable.
Wow.
And then the second effect, or one of the effects to Reborn one, also comes up because we're playing the Baka.
Yes.
So we just keep this on the field. You have a Cross Sheep, and then you summon the Mitsurugi.
Yep.
And then you get to special one from grave, and you draw 2, discard 2.
Wow.
Such a good.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah, I think a great addition to the deck.
Oh, I agree.
And then our side deck, we play 3 Meows in the side.
Of course, the
3
Malice Hate.
Lancia.
More Malice Hate.
2 Burial from a Different Dimension.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I don't like playing against Malice, so we hate it. We have to hate it.
Yep.
And then we play 2 Thrust. And then we have a bunch of Thrust targets. We have Harpies, Dark Ruler, and Featherstorm.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure the Castell probably spoiled that a little bit.
We play this for game 2 if we're going first. If we lose game 1,
Yep.
this can just win the game. There's like,
Oh, it's a literal game ender.
yeah, like, so we have to play it in the side with Thrust. It's so good. And then 2 1-ups. We play Rivalry.
Okay.
As we end on all reptiles. Maybe an Abyss Dweller that's going to be used that turn.
Did it come up at all today?
I sided it. Just 2 or 3 games.
Okay.
But the problem was I never saw it.
Yeah.
But in theory, it works.
Yeah.
And then our last card is Granadora.
Granadora, okay.
So this is my time card.
Gotcha, yes, it does life point stuff.
It's a
You're right.
searchable card that even if I activate Dark Ruler, I am able to still gain life points. So it just gains 1,000, and that's it. That's its effect. When
Yeah.
it's summoned, it gains 1,000.
Yep, it's the time card.
Yeah, we have to play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, Anakin. I really appreciate you giving me the profile there. Any thoughts on the deck? Would you change anything?
No,
moving forward?
I've been hard focusing on trying to perfect the deck, and I think I have to lock in today for even regionals or YCS or whatever.
Yep.
I think this is the lock-in.
I think so too. Yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty good.
You played out of your mind today, Anakin. Congratulations again on topping today, and I'm sure we'll probably see you on the channel again, my guy.
Alrighty. Thank you very much.